Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Serving Nerve, where we talk about whatever we want. And first, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Yes, we hit it. Look at that, that's hilarious. I can't believe it, that's so psychotic. My shirt is very wrinkled today, I just noticed this. But anyways, yeah, so we hit 2,000 subscribers and we did it in half the time that it took us to get to 1,000 subscribers. So that's fun. But yeah, thank you so much for subscribing, my dudes. And, anyways, we're just gonna get into some more fat acceptance cringe compilations. So let's just get into it.
Big belly? No problem. First, find a comfortable seated position. Feet together, knees apart is my favorite in Baddha Konasana. Second, we can bring the belly between the legs, creating more space through the hip joint. Third, we can sit on a bolster. This creates more space, so if we like, we can cross our legs. I prefer Baddha Konasana myself, so sometimes I'll bring blocks beneath the knees to help support the legs, especially if I'm feeling pulling in the inner line of the leg.
I'm not gonna lie, dudes, she's probably more flexible than me. I don't know if they're gonna say anything crazy, but I think it's actually, like, really good to be stretching at any weight, and if this person's trying to show people, like, who are overweight, how to stretch or do yoga poses, obviously there's a certain point where you'd want to lose some weight or whatever, but like, when I look at this, I'm like, I don't think they're doing anything that's really that worthy of being put in a cringe compilation. And I say that a lot, but there's a distinctive line where I feel like some people who are just doing things, like trying to do yoga and stuff at an overweight weight and trying to show people like, hey, I can do it too. I feel like it's not as crazy as somebody doing like fetish material or stuffing a cake in their mouth, or being like, I'm fat and you need to accept me for the way that I am, enable my bad behavior, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this is nowhere close. So I don't know. I just don't think this kind of thing belongs in cringe compilations. Like, you can reserve a cringe compilation for something significantly more, reprehensible, or whatever. I don't know.
If I want to sit in a wide-legged position, I'll bring the blocks beneath the thighs to keep my knees from hyperextending. Also, in twists, we have the option of bringing the belly onto the leg to create more space so we can come deeper into the twist.
After being accused of it for so long, I have decided that I will in fact be promoting obesity from here on out. So, if you would like to Venmo me the low rate of $100 a month, I will be your personal obesity coach, and I will help you meet your obesity goals.
See, now that's cringe. That's cringe. See, that's called enabling bad behavior, ebegging, and also, I don't know, enabling other people's bad behavior. Like, that's cringe. So I just feel like, you know, again, girl doing yoga, not that cringy. This, pretty cringe. I feel like instead of you guys paying this girl or anybody paying this girl, you should just pay me. I don't know why. Just throw me money. Like, there's just as much justification with me asking for money for no good reason than this person saying they'll be an obesity coach. It's ridiculous. I do have to mention, I think that ebegging is, like, really bad. Like, I hate when I see people going, like, oh yeah, like, just 20 more jewels, or, you know, gift me some subs, or whatever, like, on Twitch, or whatever it is. Like, I freaking hate it. Like, I get that this is your career, but, like, there's a certain point where it's freaking annoying. It's the same thing as, like, asking for people to like and subscribe. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I never like to say it in my videos. In fact, I made a video talking about how much I hate it because it really annoys me. And although I'm thankful to have subscribers and like you guys around, I don't want to keep asking in every video, hey, like and subscribe, because it's freaking annoying, bro. Sorry I'm on a rant, but I just hate when people ask for things from people online, like, you know, money, subscribers, likes, views, whatever, shares, I don't know. It's all the same crap. It's all the same crap. Super annoying. So this comment says, why do we need fat acceptance? I'm accepted by the only people I care about anyway. I care about health and I'm just fine. Very well said. Very well said, especially about the people that you care about being the ones that accept you. Like, why should I accept a concept that is utilized by people who don't want to change for the better or live healthy lives? Why should I do that? It's the same thing as being a user of narcotics or involving yourself in other, like, inappropriate behaviors. Like, why should I enable that and also accept that as a part of you? A stranger online. It just doesn't make that much sense.
Hey! So this is a really great opportunity to talk about exactly why we need fat acceptance. I totally understand this viewpoint because, like, fuck everybody else. But we do need fat acceptance. We need fat acceptance so that when fat people go to the doctor, they actually get treated for what's wrong with them. We need fat...
Baby, if you're in America, They screw you over, just sue. Threaten a lawsuit. That's all you need to do. You don't need fat acceptance. You just need, lawyer acceptance. Come on now. Like, let's just be fair here. Like, most medical systems, terrible. Coming from Canada, terrible medical. I'm pretty sure similar in like the UK, maybe. I don't know though. I've heard that the medical system there is also suboptimal. But in America, the wonderful thing you can always do if there's medical misconduct and people aren't taking you seriously is file a lawsuit. I don't know. Or maybe endeavor to lose some weight so that you can be healthy and then they'll take you more seriously. Like, why should we accept somebody when they're at an unhealthy body weight, whether it's in a professional setting or a non-professional setting? I'm not trying to justify, like, not treating people, but there's a certain point where you have to recognize that doctors will be like, hey, you have back pain? Well, it might be because you're obese. Hey, you have high cholesterol? Obesity. Hey, you have, lethargy, or you have trouble getting out of bed, or you have trouble breathing? Obesity. Like, a lot of the time, a lot of the medical issues that some of these people are facing are just strictly due to obesity. So, again, like, why on earth would you not change for the better? Especially if you're endeavoring to change or get healthier by going to the doctor. Usually when you go to the doctor, it's to make something bad that's happening to you go away. Why don't you just do it on your own instead of wasting your time and money with a medical professional or whatever? Especially if you feel like they're not very professional or they don't take you seriously. It just doesn't make any sense.
Acceptance so that fat people are promoted and paid just as much as their thin counterparts.
In what context, bro? Look at Tess Holiday. She can be a model and make millions. Look at me. I'm online and make nothing. And then look at, like, all the skinny models who have to try and operate in New York City in an overly saturated market. Like, you can argue about this for anything. I know I'm using the idea of modeling to kind of, give this as an example. But you can say the same thing about, like, short people. Short models should be, like, less discriminated against in, like, modeling. Or, hey, I look very plain and average as a model. I don't have a lot of, like, freckles, unique features. Maybe I'm not, blonde or ginger, I'm brunette, etc. Like, you can make an argument for anything when it comes to this. What about bodybuilding competitions? Oh, like they're discriminating against me because my structural design of my musculature is suboptimal to win this competition. They're discriminating against me. No, it's just what it is, dude. Like, deal with it.
We need fat acceptance so that fat people, especially super fat, infinite fat people, have access to clothing.
I have to also call this out. Like, there is a point where you have to be so freaking obese as to not fit into clothing, especially with plus-size clothing brands that are coming out. How obese do you have to be to not fit into anything? Anything. Especially when you can get, like, 4XL shirts, 5XL shirts. Like, how big do you have to be, and what are you not fitting into? This is another thing that I find incredibly annoying. It's like, even at my weight, and with a bunch of other girls that I know that just don't have, like, the perfect curvature for our height, perfect waist to hip ratio, whatever, we all have problems getting clothing. Like, we all have trouble finding clothing that fits. Like, this argument's stupid. It's just annoying and dumb.
Really easy to just think about our experience in this world and, like, probably be pissed about it. But I believe there's a better world. And I think it all starts with fat acceptance.
How about instead of focusing on fat acceptance and all this social justice baloney when it comes to fat acceptance, how about instead we focus on improving our public education systems, increasing the detention rates for people who are predatory amongst children? Why don't we help children that don't have their biological parents more? Why don't we help foster children more? Why don't we help deal with some of the inconsistencies with CPS? And also, why don't we help impoverished children more? Like, there are still children in the United States, Canada, the UK, who don't have stable living situations. I think that's where we need to start, because instability at a young age is what perpetuates you to be unstable in future. I know I'm on a bit of a rant again, but I'm just saying, you can choose whether you're fat or not. You cannot choose what life you're born into. You can't choose whether you're, born into severe poverty or grow up in an abusive situation with your parents, or, maybe grow up being abused. Like, you can't choose these things. And personally, I think those things are much more important in society than focusing on things like fat acceptance or body positivity. Like, I just think those things are way less important than other things that require way more care and consideration from the public. I get that homelessness and a bunch of other issues that I presented are worldwide, but just focusing on your own country, like America or, Canada or the UK or wherever you are right now, Personally, I'm in America. Just focusing on that issue alone, like, you can increase the well-being of people if you provide them with better educational systems, more access to jobs, more access to appropriated housing. And I don't believe in like giving things away to people, but I do believe that we should provide better resources for these kinds of people that grow up in these situations or are put in these situations, because those people, I think, deserve much more care and consideration than somebody who's just complaining about being fat online. And, you know, I know I'm throwing a bunch of crap in the pot, but I'm just saying, like, this is just stupid. Like, if I compare these two things, this doesn't even come close. This is like nothing compared to like childhood poverty. This is nothing compared to growing up into homelessness or dealing with being abused or something. Like, this just doesn't compare. So when I think about this, I'm like, how sheltered do you have to be to find that this is your number one, like, thing that you're trying to aim for in life? Like, this is what you want to be liberated from. Like, I just don't get it, man. I'm sorry. I just don't get it.
Love you. Bye.
I've talked about this before, but I was a competitive baton twirler, and when I was about 16 years old, we had done it a few times before, but the group that I was with, we were in the Miss America parade, and when they used to have it in Atlantic City, New Jersey, it was the entire length of the boardwalk, which is like 4 or 5 miles, and we would perform the entire way, like dancing and doing tricks and all these things. So it was like a lot of work, and I had recently lost about 50 pounds right before this, and as I'm like halfway through performing, I start to get really lightheaded and dizzy and like feeling like something is physically wrong. So I alert one of the parents. She takes me to the side. One of the EMTs that was like along the side of the boardwalk takes me aside, puts me in the ambulance. They evaluate me. I'm okay. But my coach says, well, that's what you get for being fat. I can do a part 2.
Okay, one thing I have is my sympathies for people who grow up in, like, you know, specific, like, sports and stuff, because your coaches, the environment, it's all very competitive. People will, like, you know, scrutinize you if you have extra weight gain or extra weight on you or whatever. But also, if you recently lose, like, 50 pounds drastically, you could have, like, maybe an issue with, you know, hydration, electrolyte issues, energy intake, like, things like that. So, getting dizzy and lightheaded, it could be because you did that instead of just, you know, happen to be more overweight than somebody else if you were still overweight after that weight loss. Either way, it's unfortunate, and I have my sympathies in that regard, because it is difficult to deal with, especially in competitive sport. If we can find the part 2 for this, I will check it out. But in the meantime, yeah, it could be because you were overweight and overworking, but the reality is it's likely due to the drastic weight loss you experience of 50 pounds. The likely chance is if you had sudden drastic weight loss of like 50 pounds, the likelihood is that you were under eating enough and over-exercising enough to maybe perpetuate some sort of energy issue. Lightheadedness, super common. Anemia, issues with blood oxygen levels. So it could be the case. I really don't know. I don't know. Like, I have no idea. But yeah, I have to mention, like, facing off with things in competitive sport and the amount of, like, you know, meticulous focus on, like, body weight, weight loss, perfectionism, those kinds of focuses, they can actually drive you to hurt yourself. So there's a balance when it comes to coaching the youth in competitive sport. I don't really know that balance. I've never really been in like super duper competitive sport before. And I've also never been in like a competition like this, and the pressure must be immense. So it could also have to do with like nerves and stuff and like, you know, nervousness and that making you feel more faint as well. So it's just all unfortunate all around. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of this, that, the other, and your mother? So yeah, that's the video. Tell me what you think in the comments below, my people, and I will see you all next time. It has been lovely. Slater. And also, yeah, thank you for 2,000 subscribers again. It's crazy that we've gotten this far being as cringy and screwed up as we are. So yeah, thank you so much.